There are moments in crypto where nothing official is announced, no press release, no headline screaming breaking news, no partnership tweet with fireworks and emojis, yet something subtle happens, and only the people who are paying close attention notice it. Today's story begins with one of those quiet signals. Zebec Network did something small on the surface, but meaningful under the hood. They followed XCN. Now, for most people on social media, following an account means absolutely nothing. People follow out of curiosity, out of boredom, sometimes by accident. But Zebec Network is not a casual user scrolling on a phone. This is an infrastructure project, a payments-focused protocol, a business with compliance, partners, and long-term objectives. And here's where the detail matters. Zebec doesn't follow thousands of accounts. They don't follow trends. They don't chase noise. They follow less than 500 accounts in total. That's it. When a project with global ambitions limits its digital footprint that tightly, every single connection becomes intentional. Think of it like a private guest list. If you're on that list, you're not there by accident. When you look at the other names Zebec follows, the pattern becomes very clear. These are not influencers chasing engagement. These are not meme accounts. These are institutions, payment rails, infrastructure players, and regulatory adjacent entities, names tied to finance, names tied to compliance, names tied to real-world money flow. Which tells us something important. Zebec is not building for speculation first. They're building for integration. So when XCN appears on that same list, it raises a logical question. Why? Not when moon, not price prediction, not next pump. But why would two serious infrastructure projects even need to acknowledge each other publicly? Because in crypto, attention is expensive, time is expensive, and alignment is intentional. This doesn't automatically mean a massive partnership announcement is coming tomorrow. That's not how real businesses operate. Sometimes it starts smaller. A conversation, a technical discussion, a shared objective, a compatible system, and sometimes those quiet beginnings matter more than loud announcements, especially in a market where most people only react to green candles. Now let's zoom out for a moment, because understanding Zebec isn't just about following lists or social signals, it's about mindset. There was a post recently that captured this perfectly, not with charts, not with numbers, but with psychology. It said, "The hardest part isn't buying early, it's holding when everyone around you changes their tone. Holding when your friends say you're lucky. Holding when they say you're stupid for not selling. Holding when they suddenly want advice after ignoring you for months." This is where most people misunderstand crypto entirely. They think the challenge is timing the bottom. It's not. The real challenge is surviving your own emotions when things go well. Ironically, sitting through a drawdown is often easier than sitting through success. When price is down 60%, expectations are low. You're already uncomfortable. You've already accepted uncertainty. But when price starts moving up, when numbers look unreal, when screenshots start circulating, that's when pressure begins. Pressure to sell early. Pressure to lock it in. Pressure to avoid regret. And this is where cycles are won and lost. Every market cycle teaches the same brutal lesson. Only a very small percentage of participants actually walk away with meaningful gains. Not because they didn't buy, not because they didn't research, but because they couldn't hold conviction when noise got loud. Most people don't lose money at the bottom. They lose it somewhere in the middle. They sell when uncertainty feels safer than patience. They sell when comfort returns. They sell when belief is tested. And here's the part that almost nobody talks about. Projects like Zebec are not designed for emotional traders. They're designed for time, for systems that grow quietly, for infrastructure that integrates slowly, for adoption that doesn't happen overnight. Payments rails don't explode in a week. Compliance doesn't trend on Twitter. Enterprise adoption doesn't care about candles. It cares about reliability. That's why signals like alignment, attention, and ecosystem overlap matter more than hype. They don't promise instant returns. They suggest direction. And direction is often more valuable than speed. This is why experienced participants pay attention during quiet periods. Not because they expect immediate validation, but because they understand how long-term narratives are built. Brick by brick, connection by connection, system by system. So when you see Zebec making intentional moves, even small ones, it's worth asking, what kind of future are they positioning for? Not tomorrow, not next week, but across the next cycle. Because the real winners in crypto are rarely the loudest voices. They're the ones who stayed focused when nobody was watching. And here's the most important takeaway from all of this. The market will always test you. It will test your patience during boredom, it will test your discipline during fear, and it will test your judgment during excitement. Your job isn't to predict every move. Your job is to understand what you're holding and why you're holding it. If you don't have that clarity, every candle becomes a threat. But if you do, noise becomes irrelevant, opinions lose power, and time starts working for you instead of against you. In every cycle, only a small fraction of people truly benefit, not because they were lucky, but because they stayed rational when emotions were loud. And that's the real edge. Not information, not hype, not timing, but understanding the difference between movement and meaning. All content on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Thanks for watching Coin News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for daily updates on crypto markets, price analysis, and breaking news. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from the world of digital currency.